All right, here now to react to all of it is Republican Congressman Rod Blum from Iowa. Sir, thank you so much for joining us. You know, we got that report midday that it looks like General Flynn was going, or it didn't look like, someone was saying that General Flynn was going to testify against the president. What do you think about that? Do you think that's true? Do you think that's going to happen? Does it sound likely? What's the scuttlebutt where you are?
Well, first of all, good afternoon, Melissa, from the swamp.
Yes.
And, yes, and I want to drain it. But having said that, yeah, this is a fishing expedition on behalf of the special counsel. The Flynn lying to the FBI is all about Flynn lying to the FBI. This has very little, if anything, to do with President Trump. And most of the things he lied to the FBI about occurred after Trump was elected president. It was during the transition. And he supposedly spoke with the Russian ambassador. And the Russian ambassador said it would take him a half an hour to list all of the officials of the Trump transition team that he had spoke with. So this is much ado about nothing. And I am confident there is zero connection of this with President Trump, particularly if we go back to the reason for the special counsel. It was to look at collusion between the Trump campaign and the president himself and the Russian officials during the campaign. Okay. This is all about the transition team.
I want to talk about taxes because money is very important to all of us here on this show. A tale of two tax plans. The Senate is poised to pass their version of the GOP tax bill with a vote that is expected as early as tonight, leaving Republicans with their next hurdle, which is merging the Senate bill with the House-passed legislation. So what do you think? I mean, can all Republicans unite behind a bill? What do you think are the essential tenets of what finally comes together as one bill? What will it look like?
Yes, and we're coming back a day early next week on Monday so that we can vote in the House on going to conference. So I'm confident they're going to pass something today, the Senate, and then we'll go to conference. And I am absolutely confident, Melissa, we will have this on the president's desk on Christmas Eve for him to sign as a Christmas gift to the American people. Well, there's three things I think it has to contain. Okay. One is, does it simplify taxes? 95% of Americans say the tax code is so complex they can't even do their own taxes. Yes, I know the House version does that. Secondly, does it give a tax cut?
See, I feel like that's one of the places where it kind of fails. It doesn't seem like it's simpler. I mean, there's still a zillion brackets. We heard about the postcard. It's not the postcard. I mean, to you, what's simpler about it?
Because today, 70% of tax filers, I think we're talking almost probably 90 million tax filers, do not itemize their deductions. They take the standard deduction. We are doubling the standard deduction from $12,000 for a family to $24,000. It's estimated now that 90% of Americans will not itemize their deduction. And that's when you get into all the schedules, Melissa, and all the details and all the headaches, quite frankly. So that's probably going to encompass another 30 million tax filers can just literally do it on a postcard. That is great simplification. Secondly, it's going to give a tax cut to the middle class. And thirdly, and maybe most importantly, it's going to reignite economic growth so that our middle class, for the first time in 20 years, can effectively get a pay raise.
Okay. I mean, I know that you're the chairman of the House Small Business Committee. Some of the complaints have been that it helps some small businesses, but not that last group. How do you want the bill to look in the end so that it helps small business?
Well, the first $75,000 of taxable income for small business now is taxed at less than 10%. So we've decreased taxes on small business. We're allowing 100% expensing of capital expenditures, and there's many other items in there for small business.
Do you want that pass-through to go further? I mean, that's really, that's been the thing that has been the debating point. Do you want that pass-through to go down for more businesses?
Well, yes, I wish the whole tax reform package could have been bigger and bolder, but we're working with budget reconciliation rules, so it could only end up costing, not costing, but effectively reducing taxes by $1.5 trillion. But we did work with business groups, and we did lower the pass-through rate in the House, and I'm not sure what the Senate has in their rate, but yeah, let's go as low as possible. Small businesses are Main Street businesses. They're people, they're families, and let's reduce their tax burden so they can give their workers a raise and expand their businesses.
Real quick, I mean, you mentioned the swamp. We want you guys to spend less money. Can you come back and spend less money after this?
Amen to that. That's, the Democrats say this tax cut is going to raise the deficit. First of all, because of increased economic activity, it's actually going to reduce the deficit over the next 10 years.
But you got to spend less.
But the problem, Ronald Reagan famously said, we don't have trillion-dollar deficits because we tax too little. We have trillion-dollar deficits because we spend too much. I am with you 1,000% in that, Melissa. We need to get spending under control next year.
Get it under control, or next time you come back, I'm going to be grumbling.
Uh-oh.
A lot of grumbling. Thank you,
And
sir.
if we get it under control, maybe we can share a Slurpee.
Okay, I love that idea. Thank you. Yes, I'm a Slurpee drinker in my Twitter profile. You did your research. I love it. Thank you.
Yes, we did.
There you go.
You're welcome, Melissa. All the best.
Thank you. See you soon.